Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a peek inside the lower school. Our lower school is for grades 4, 5, and 6, just making sure that you are on the right panel. My name is Nija Meyer. I'm the Vice President for Enrollment Management here at Woodward. And in a normal world, we would have had an open house in person. We would have walked you through the halls, given you an opportunity to meet with teachers and with counselors and to get a feel for classes. But since we're not quite there yet, we thought that we would do our very best to bring you the same experience, but to your home. So that's what today is intended to be. I'm going to turn things over to our lower school admissions counselor, Alida Abdullah, as well as our lower school principal, Andy Phillips. I will keep my eye open on the chat, so please don't be shy as we are going through the building and meeting people. If you have any questions at all, put them in the chat and I will make sure and stop Ms. Abdullah and Mr. Phillips and make sure that your question gets answered. So with no further ado, I would love to turn things over to Alida.
Hi, and welcome to a peek inside the lower school. We are so excited that you're here today. I'm Alida Abdullah, as Nisha introduced me, and I am the lower school admissions counselor here at Woodward Academy. We are super excited to have you here in our peek inside the lower school. I'm joined by our illustrious leader, Mr. Andy Phillips, who is the principal here at the lower school. And he is going to share with you information, and I'll just kind of walk you guys through this, through the school. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Andy Phillips, and I'm the principal here at the lower school. I've been here for 37 years. Now, not in the capacity as a principal, but as a teacher. I also was a parent of two graduates. So we're so glad to have you guys. And as Nija said originally, we would love to have you in the building, but circumstances keep us from doing that. So we think this is the next best thing. We're going to have a live look in. So welcome to everybody. And we're going to go ahead and turn it back to Alida, and we're going to start our tour.
All right. Well, welcome to the lower school. When we walk in, we'll be on the second floor of this building, which houses our 4th and 5th grade hallways, and one of my very favorite places, our media center. So come right on in. So one of the first things you'll notice about our building is all the beautiful artwork that's all over the walls here at the lower school. Here we have 3 rotations of art per year for students here at the lower school. They take 12 weeks of 2-dimensional art, 12 weeks of 3-dimensional art, and 12 weeks of digital art and photography. So there's an opportunity for kids to get their hands messy and some beautiful things to come out of those classrooms. Every division here at Woodward has its own infirmary, and our infirmary features our wonderful nurse Sullivan, who's been here for 22 years. And though we hope your child never has to come into our nurses station, we are super excited to introduce her to you so that she can share a little bit about what the healthcare situation is at the lower school.
Hello, everyone. So nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. This is the lower school infirmary, also known as the place to be. My name is Phyllis Sullivan. As Ms. Alida mentioned, I have been here 22 years, specifically here at the lower school, since the lower school has been open in this location. I can honestly say I've enjoyed all the students, faculty, and staff that has traveled through this infirmary. And it's truly an amazing place. It's a wonderful school and wonderful opportunity for our students. So thank you so much for dropping in. And if you need to reach me for any reason, please call or at 404-765-4423, or you can reach me on via email at phyllis.sullivan@woodward.edu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nurse Sullivan.
Thank you.
And I tell you what, she's an absolute amazing treasure to have, especially during the time of COVID. We use a Magnus app, and she checks to make sure that all students get the green light to go so that they can come in and everyone can be safe here at the lower school. So we'll keep going. We have hydroponic gardens. The hydroponic gardens feature some delicious herbs and spices. I personally have had the chance to take advantage of some of the basil, put it in some pizza. It was really delicious. We also have oregano, cilantro, and some chives. And as those grow, we will be working on adding those to some recipes as well. All right, so we're gonna head to the counselor's suite. We have two counselors here, Ms. Taylor Strong and Ms. Carrie Lachlan. And they are amazing. They work with kids in the morning and sometimes throughout the day, doing social emotional learning and all kinds of really cool things that kids can, learn from.
And we're here, and there's Miss.
Lachlan.
Hi, how are you? Hi. Miss Strawn, we are the counselors in the lower school. We split it by alphabet of the last name. So Miss Strawn is
I'm A through M.
and I'm N through Z. And we see all the students in the classroom, so we get to know all the students, but on an individual basis or on our conferences, that's how we divide them.
We do everything from individual counseling to small groups. We do craft club. We have a Foursquare group. We have a gardening club. You guys might get to see the garden. And then we do classroom lessons.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate your time, and we love our counselors. They do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. And yes, they are really amazing. Get to know the kids really well because oftentimes kids need to see a counselor, but sometimes don't know the counselor very well. So Ms. Strong and Ms. Lachlan make sure that they get to know the students really well so that they're able to, connect with them in ways when they're needed. And here is one of my first favorite spots to visit. It is our media center. And the media center here at the lower school is specifically for lower school students. We have everything from graphic novels all the way to Harry Potter and
this is a live look-in. So, yes, we do have people vacuuming right now. So we're going to close those doors so you can hear us a little bit better. And we have Miss Inman here. Hi, Miss Inman. Miss Inman is our media specialist. Tell us a little bit about what happens in the library with yours.
Well, the library is open pretty much. If the school building is open, kids can come in as soon as they're dismissed from early care in the morning at 8 o'clock. They can come in to start checking out books. Open up to the end of study hall right until I have to go to carpool. They can come in on their own, in and out throughout the day. Some of them I see multiple times a day. I do have classes. Teachers will sign up classes to come up. I see reading classes on a regular basis. Science and social studies comes whenever they're working on projects and research in the classrooms, and they come here, and we just have a great time. At least I do.
Yeah. And I think we have a read for recess too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
So every day for our 5th and 6th graders, there's an option for them to come to the library to read for recess. And 4th period there are like 2 4th periods, one for 5th and 6th grade, one for 4th and 5th grade, and one for 6th grade. So there are times when I do have a 4th period class in here, but the kids come in for read for recess, and they'll just come and find a quiet spot and make themselves comfortable and sit and read. And then when it's time for them to go to lunch, off they go. So
That's great. Thank you, Ms. Inman.
once again, it's one of my favorite places. Kids love coming in here. Some of them even have like a set time where we're hanging out with our friends and reading books. You can't beat that, right? Reading for fun is something we certainly encourage here at the lower school. So I'll take you over here to where the kids do get to read for fun. And there are lots of comfy pieces of furniture kids can sit on. We've got our cozy corner here that kids are working on. These kids are playing the game of life. And some of you may remember that growing up. I know I do. And I even have one of those boxes at my house as well. So it's just a really great space. And one of the things that kids really like the most about this space is they get to take off their shoes. So they get to take off their shoes and they get to bounce on the helmet heads here. And they're pretty comfortable seats if you want to give them a try. But for those who may not want to bounce on those, we have our cozy dunes, which are bean bags, and we have our stadium seats. Basically, kids can take their pick and read anywhere in the media center that they like.
And these two young men, this is part of our mentor and intern program. We have one of our sixth grade students and one of our high school students, and they meet up once a week, every Tuesday. So it's a great program. We're glad to have our high school students be part of our the lower school. Thanks, guys.
Now, on the other side of this partition, oh my goodness, we have a treasure in Dr. Mariah. She is our STEAM teacher. She works with technology, and she is doing some amazing things. So I'm going to be quiet and let her do all the talking right now.
Hi, how are you all? My name is Sandra Varaj, and I am the technology specialist here at the lower school. I teach STEAM classes, and I also help teachers with project integration, with interdisciplinary cross-curricular classes, and so work on a lot of different projects and also have classes with the students. All of the students come and see me twice a rotation, and then if we're working on a project, sometimes it's more than that, depending on what the project is that we're working on. So for example, fourth grade just worked on a zombie project that was integration of social studies, science, math, reading and writing. And so the teachers that I met with, we worked together to collaborate and add STEAM. We say STEAMify the project, and we added, for example, 3D pens, where the students use 3D pens to outline the map of Georgia and then the different rivers and lakes in Georgia and different geographical features that they were learning about. They also learned how to use Flipgrid and different camera features in the green screen and the effects to record a PSA, public service announcement, about how to escape from a zombie after they scripted that as well. And then in fifth grade, we are working on a go-kart project right now. So the students are learning about Tinkercad and 3D printing and 3D modeling. So they 3D modeled their go-kart, and then they built their go-kart today in teams, and then we're doing a race tomorrow. And that integrates science and math, where they're measuring and converting measurements and comparing measurements, and also science with forces in motion. And then in sixth grade, some of the cool projects we've done so far is they've also used Tinkercad to model Paleolithic units in communities, and we've 3D printed those with a 3D printer. So they also learn about parts of the 3D printer and filament. And then today, and over the last couple of weeks, they've worked on a Lego project that integrates science, and that goes with the Artemis mission to the moon. And so they have built Mars rovers. They also modeled them in Tinkercad and built them together, and also learned how to program those. So those are just some of the projects that we worked on over the last couple of weeks.
That's fantastic. So you can see in our makerspace, we have all sorts of resources. We have 3D printers. We have our electric outlets hanging from the ceiling so that we can plug in things that we need to use. So Dr. V is what we call her. Does a fantastic job.
She does. She really does. And I get excited every time I come in here because the energy, just like the things hanging from the wall, is electric. It
That's
really
right.
is. And she drives the bus, the train, the car, you name it, and she's got it going in here. And it's a great space for kids to learn more about STEAM and to integrate that into their classes. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
V.
you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dr. V.
Mr. Phillips, we do have one question here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this was before we went into the makerspace, but is every lower school student paired with a high school student to participate in the mentor program?
No, it's just select students who we think that would benefit from that program with having a mentor. And, sometimes it's requested by parents, sometimes it's requested by the students, and sometimes it's just students that we feel like here at school would benefit from having a good mentor from our high school.
Thank you. And before we move on, does anyone have any questions for Dr. V about the STEAM program here? Okay, thank you, Dr. V.
All right,
Have a
thank
great
you.
day.
Thanks so much.
Dr. V is a treasure. She also coaches our first Lego League. Yes, right here is our first Lego League table. We have two teams right now of sixth grade and fifth grade students, and then we're going to have fourth grade teams starting in February. So, yeah, it's fantastic. And she does a great job. How often do you meet with those students, Dr. V?
So right now we're meeting for a total of 3 hours every week. So the students and parents voted, and we decided on one day because of other activities that the students might be involved in. So we meet on Wednesdays from dismissal until 5:45.
That's great. And I think the kids really have enjoyed that. They sign up for that. They make a commitment to that. And it's a great program. So thanks, Dr. V. We are going to head out into the fourth grade hallway at this time. Here we go.
Right.
All right. Miss Abdullah.
We are here on our fourth grade hallway, and of course, all the kids get lockers. The very cool thing about our building is that it's set up in a way where our fifth grade hallway mirrors our fourth grade hallway, and classes are right across from each other. And we are going to get a chance to speak with Mrs. Collins, who is our fourth grade math teacher. And she is in with the student right now, but she is happy to share more about the math curriculum here at the lower school.
Well, hello. In fourth grade, we do a lot of building on the foundation that they had from the primary school. So we do everything from place value all the way to measurement. We happen to be working on multiplication right now. They do have a multiplication test coming up. But we do a lot of things like groups during math class where I may work with a small group at the table on a skill, and then they are doing other activities or games or something like that for about 15 minutes of math class.
All right. This is great. And so, do you meet with students individually occasionally, or
I do. Usually they will come to me during recess if I do that because it's hard to do one-on-one. But the small group is like 4. I have 4 students.
Oh, that's great. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. And it looks like she's doing good work there.
She is.
All right. Thanks,
Any
Maven.
questions?
Any questions? You can see this is a typical classroom. They're about 1,000 square feet. And we have our, for COVID protocols, we have our desks at least 3 feet apart at this point. Typically, these desks are wonderful desks that can be clustered together. They can be in groups of 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in a typical classroom setting here in the lower school, you're going to see that quite often. So our kids do a lot of collaborative work.
Which is great. They fit like a puzzle.
They do.
So I do love that. But unfortunately, we do have to follow the COVID protocols and have everyone facing forward. Hopefully by next year, though, that'll change. Thanks again, Ms. Collins.
Thanks, Ms. Collins.
Science classrooms are pretty similar. The difference is they have tall desks and tall tables and chairs. So in our experiments and exploratory experiments that they're working on, so they do have this table set up in the science classrooms. So that's a little different from what you would see in your typical classroom with the individual desks that you can cluster, but still a great space nonetheless to do great learning in. Now, an extension of our science classroom exists out on our playground, believe it or not. Of course, play is always great for learning, but on our playground, we have our raised gardens, and we have some amazing things growing there. Just as Ms. Strawn said, get involved in the garden club, but this also serves as a service learning opportunity for kids as we can donate this produce to community service organizations that don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So you'll see we have cinnamon basil, we have ghost and reaper peppers, scary, and we even have okra, tomatoes, and cucumbers. This summer's cucumber crop yielded 50 jars of pickles, if you can imagine that. So we have, staff members who come up during the summer and actually work with the garden and, harvest some really delicious fruits and vegetables. And we've got some new cucumbers growing. I saw those earlier today. Green pepper I saw hanging down. So we've got some great crops growing out here, and the kids get a chance to get their hands in the dirt and, learn some skills here in the garden. and grow fruits and vegetables. It's exceptional for kids to learn. So another one of our extensions, oh, by the way, we are on the playground. So I have to mention that kids get recess every single day. And what kid wouldn't want recess every single day? So 4th, 5th, and 6th graders do all get recess, which they really enjoy and appreciate as well.
Typically, our after school care program has several students out on the playground at this time, but it could be that right now is their study hall period. And we do have a study hall for our students who go to after school care, and that lasts for about 25 to 30 minutes. We're going back into the building in the 4th grade hallway, and we're going to go down the 4th grade stairwell.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I had my badge to open the doors. So we're very secure around here and make sure that we keep all of our doors locked and make sure that only certain people have access to those doors. So you can certainly feel comfortable about being in a safe space.
We do designate ours as well, just because for traffic flow, we want to make sure that our 4th grade students don't get run over by our 6th grade students.
Well, I do have quite a treat for you all. For those who are interested in our transition learning support program, we have Ms. Dunkel and Ms. Moore's classroom, and we're going to go in through this door. Just to show you.
First of all, let me show you their emojis, Ms. Dunkel and Ms. Moore. And now we have their beautiful classroom.
It's absolutely amazing. So for those who are not aware, our transition learning support program is designed for students who have diagnosed learning differences, such as dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, or some processing disorders that they may have some challenges with. So in our transition learning support program, we teach kids using our same curriculum as we do for mainstream students. However, we make sure that we infuse those classes with strategies to help them overcome those challenges. And so this is what one of our transition learning support classrooms look like. January 20th, there will be a peek inside the transition program. And so you would need to go to info.woodward.edu/visit. So make sure you tune in if you're interested in our transition learning support. You'll hear from Amy Zering, who's the director of transition, and she is going to make sure that you learn as much as you possibly can about that program.
And we do have a question about homework. Is there a designated time for homework, or is it the study hall as part of the day after school program?
Yeah, study homework. It depends on the student, but we do have a designated study hall at the end of the day, and that lasts from 3:11 until 3:25. So it's 14 minutes. Many of our students, our best students, are going to take advantage of that time and get some homework done during that time. Oftentimes at the end of classes, the teachers will give them the opportunity to start working on homework. We typically say 4th grade will have 40 minutes of homework, 5th grade 50, and 6th grade 60 minutes. And that's an average. Some days it will be less, much less, and some days it might be a little bit more. But basically, that's the average.
So now we're down here in our arts and music wing. The great thing about the lower school is we want to expose students to as many different opportunities as possible. So they get to choose between 3 different types of music, which in this case is orchestra, string instruments that require a bow, band, and chorus. Keep in mind that 4th grade students can choose orchestra or chorus. And once they get to 5th grade, they can add band to their choice selection. So you get a chance to participate in any music you would like. We have a dance studio that is in the process of preparing for its fall production. So let's see what's going on in here. Maybe some
Everybody scream like I'm Jenny and Mom. Be crazy with it. There you go. 5, 6, go, go, 7, 8, go, start, start. Slowly get it up.
Now that truly was a live look into our one of our honors dance groups, and they are fantastic. Miss Axum is a fantastic dance teacher. She was a Fulbright scholar, and we are very fortunate to have her.
Yes, we are. And the good thing about the lower school is kids can choose between dance or PE. Now, fourth graders can do dance and PE, but fifth and sixth graders, you had to make a choice. And it makes it pretty hard when you've got those great dancers. That's an honors dance class, and they do meet after school. But during the school day, they have dancers in classes all throughout the day, which is awesome.
So there is a question on this topic. If
Sure.
one of you might be able to give an overview on overall how arts are worked into the curriculum. Do they select one class? Is class every day? Is it a few times a week? Do they have to stay after school? So maybe if you can talk about the performing arts and the choices and the grades, and then talk about the visual arts and those rotations and how we weave them into the day.
Yeah. So the students each have two what we call co-curricular classes per day. The students get to choose, as Miss Abdullah said, they get to choose a music class, which they have in a 7-day rotation. They'll have their music class 4 days out of the 7. They'll have their dance PE/PE classes 4 of the 7 days. They have art 3 of the 7 days, and then they have Spanish for 6th grade. And 5th grade is 3 of the 7 days, and for 4th grade it's 2 out of the 7 days. So yeah, and they're on a 7-day rotation. Our academic classes meet every single day, so they're on a 5-day rotation. So that's how we integrate all of those classes into the daily schedule.
And our core courses here are science, math, social studies, language arts, and reading. We do separate that, and language arts is focused on grammar, mechanics, and writing, and reading, of course, is about comprehension and, you know, being able to read different novels and things of that nature.
Very
So
good.
we're going to take a step into our orchestra room, which is beautifully done and was actually designed by someone who is skilled in acoustics. And this is what, for those who wonder where some of our funding goes, this room was funded by the Woodward Academy Fund. And so $2 million went into designing this space. And we even have a storage space over to our left here where kids can keep their instruments and even use it as sectionals or for pullouts for those who are needing some additional help. And it seems like we have Mr. Burma, who is working directly with one of our students after school. They work really hard to make sure kids are mastering their instrument and being able to catch up. So I'm going to kind of interrupt him a little bit to see if maybe he'd speak a little bit about our orchestra program.
How are y'all doing?
Hi, Mr. Vermo.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. We are interrupting your tutoring session. I apologize
Oh,
for that.
no.
You sounded amazing, by the way. We have parents that are taking a peek inside lower school and wanted to get just a little bit of information about the orchestra program and the music program here at the lower school, and just wanted to see if you'd share just a little bit of information about it.
Sure. Well, you can enter as a beginner in fourth grade, and you'd be in the class with almost all beginners. And then you can also enter as a beginner in fifth and sixth grade. Um, once you exit fourth grade, most of the class will be experienced. They'll have a year in fifth grade, and they'll have 2 years of experience in sixth grade. But we have two teachers that are able to teach by teamwork, and we help the students that are beginners catch up to the students who have experience. We have an honors orchestra down here, and we have fiddle clubs in fifth and sixth grade. So that's kind of the course offerings we have at lower school. We have a lot of fun down here. Doing lots of fun and lots of games.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Burma, for
Thanks,
sharing that with
guys.
us. We appreciate it. And
All
so
right.
they just finished their instrument costume day. So for Halloween, they can't dress up in costumes as students, but they can dress up their instruments. And Mr. Burma dressed up his cello over there as Harry Potter. So the teachers actually even participate and will play a song. So Mr. Burma played the Harry Potter theme song, and Mrs. Chang dressed up her violin as Super Mario Brothers, and she did do 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 do, and it's very cute to see. And the kids get really excited, and they win prizes for scariest, funniest, cutest, and most creative costumes. So lots and lots of fun. He's not lying when he says it's fun and games down here, but learning is taking place as well. So I do believe that Ms. Lee is teaching the animation club. I'm going to check in to see, but this is our two-dimensional art classroom space during the day. And during the afternoon, they may have taken a break, but we'll step in anyway so that you can see what one of our art studios looks like. And in here, Mrs. Lee teaches fiber arts. She teaches still life paintings. She even works with the yoga club and the animation club. So in here, they learn all kinds of design elements and learn to work all different types of art media, excuse me. And in her sixth grade class, she's even taught them Google SketchUp, where they have to build a sustainable dream home and research the types of plants that are native to the area and what kind of materials would make that building sustainable. So there's some great and amazing things that happen right here in our two-dimensional art class. And so she gets kids thinking about something other than just art that you're creating and drawing, but art as a skill. How does art work into our everyday lives? And how do we think about that as a design element? So this is a great space for kids to learn. She also does several art camps over the summer. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want your children to get to know the space well and get to learn, meet other students, then the Woodward Academy camps are a great way to do that. So now we're gonna get Mrs. Armstrong, who is our varsity lacrosse coach, but is also working with lower school lacrosse students in intramurals, to share a little bit about our intramural program. As you can see, they're all lined up over there. And kids in the intramural space get a chance to learn about different sports. So I'm going to see if I can flag Ms. Armstrong down and have her come over and tell us a little bit more about our intramurals.
So you'll see this is our athletic complex. This is the high school baseball field. The lacrosse intramurals are on the outfield of our high school baseball field. And just beyond that, you have our track, our 8-lane track, and our tennis facility, which is 9 courts. It's a fantastic facility with great seating. And then just beyond that, you will see we're right in the middle of carpool line. You'll see the softball field as well. So many of our athletes are out practicing. You'll see some of our baseball players in the distance. But here comes Miss Armstrong, and she's going to come talk to us a little bit about intramurals and about the lacrosse program. But we do have after school care, just so that you'll know that after school lasts until 6 o'clock. It's a fantastic program. We mentioned that a little bit earlier. The kids get to play on the playground and in the courtyard, but there is a study hall time during the after school care time where the students actually have to be nice and quiet and either do some reading or they can do homework. So hopefully if they have to stay in after school care, by the time they get home, they won't have any homework. And here comes Miss Armstrong. She is in great shape. Oh, very good. Yes. Miss Armstrong is our varsity lacrosse coach for the girls, and she is an art teacher here in the lower school. Welcome, Miss Armstrong.
Hi everybody. So we have parents, prospective families on right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hello everybody. Behind me you see that we are in lower school girls lacrosse intramurals. This is week 4 of our lacrosse intramurals. We've extended it 2 weeks, which has actually been very productive. It's usually 2 weeks, now it's 4. I have anywhere from 15 girls to 25 girls out here any given day. We are out here Monday through Thursday from 3:45 to 5:15. I am Mr. Phillips said I'm the varsity girls lacrosse coach as well, head coach at the upper school. So I've recruited some of my players to coach every day. So we have at least 4 high school girls out there every day helping. They're running a drill right now, a 2v2 drill. I've got 2 juniors, a senior, and a new sophomore actually who hasn't even played for me yet, but she's out here. Yeah. And then my other hat is the art teacher, which is the room right behind Mr. Phillips, and I teach primarily 3D clay, sculpture, wire, mixed media to 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
That's fantastic.
Am I taking questions too, or
Well,
questions?
do we have any questions for Miss Armstrong? She's fantastic, and we really appreciate all of her work. And many of our teachers are involved in after-school activities, either as coaches or club sponsors or things of that sort. So they're all very invested. So thank you, Miss Armstrong. We appreciate your time.
Actually, in the background too, I've got about 10 7th and 8th graders that come Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I give them a workout, and they headed over to the track to do their workout, and now they're going to join. They're going to join us and do some stick work.
That's fantastic.
I try to multitask. Out here. Yeah, they're out there as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. All right.
Enjoy.
All right, have a good one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We're going back in the art swing here.
Yep. And as Mr. Phillips said, many of our teachers get a chance to coach at different levels. We find this to be quite advantageous here at Woodward Academy because teachers are getting to know students in the classroom. They get to know them on the field or on the court, wherever they're playing sports. And it really just builds connection and community amongst teachers and coaches and students. And it's a lot of love amongst all of us here.
Fantastic.
I got lucky and got a chance to coach lower school cheerleading, and that was the bee's knees for me. There's some great kids down here, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to see them, get to know them, because I'm taking tours, I'm peeping into their classrooms on a day-to-day basis. So it's really nice to be able to call them out by name and say hello.
All right, this is our arts wing again. It houses our band studio, our chorus studio, orchestra rooms, dance studio, and 2 of our art rooms. We do have a 3rd art room on the 3rd floor, and that's Mr. Edmondson. He teaches photography and printmaking. So as Ms. Abdullah said, the students get to experience all 3 media during the year in 12-week sessions.
And behind Mr. Phillips, we have some artwork that was done by our 4th grade students, and they learned about the Holocaust using a book called Number the Stars. So they read the book, Number the Stars. They learned about the different people fleeing Europe because of the Holocaust, because of the Nazis, because of the war. But artists really wanted that creative freedom. And with that came the abstract expression. And so Ms. Lee allowed for them to use acrylic and just use the print. Their only requirements were that they had to use principles of design and elements of art to create such beautiful pieces that you see here. So you'll see that they've given them even very interesting names. She had them look up words in the dictionary and thesaurus to make sure that they had some really cool names for their artwork, and this is what they came up with. And these are all 4th grade pieces of art here. Just beautiful. You can't really go outside because of technology, but they're all huddled up in a corner. We have great chickens here. They're beautiful, and they lay eggs. Imagine that. We're not an authorized poultry dealer, so we don't, feed the kids eggs. But, I suppose if we would like an egg or 2, we could probably go in there and get some from the chickens. And they're very friendly. They have great names. They are Agatha, Flossie, Buttercup, Waffles, Hazel, Fluffy Pants. There's Princess Leia. There's Waffles. There's Chickiana Grande, Chickie Minaj, and yes, even Cardi B. So we have a great slew of chickens here, and they're really friendly and well taken care of. Another extension of our science classrooms. So as we continue down the hallway, I want you guys to consider please coming to the lower school for your own personal tour. And you can sign up for one of those tours at info.woodward.edu/visit. But you guys, you're just getting a sneak peek. Keep in mind, this is a peek inside the lower school, not a full look. So you only get a full look if you come to visit with us here in person. So we're going to step into the class of Ms. Silbert, who is one of our transition learning support teachers for 5th grade. And she will provide us with a little bit more information about the transition program. Let's see. Keep in on her. Here we are. Hi, Ms. Silbert. We have prospective families here on our webinar who will hear a little bit more about the transition learning support program and some of the things you do here in your classroom.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful. Hi, I'm Cindy Silver, and I'm a 5th grade reading and social studies teacher in the transition department here at Woodward. The transition department is specifically designed for children with mild learning differences and possibly ADHD to have a more smaller, more personalized learning experience. So in our classes, we typically have 8 to 10 students, and in 4th grade, they will have an assistant teacher, and in 5th and 6th, it's more one teacher with a classroom. And we are able to concentrate on some of the skills that our students might need to be focusing on and receiving some remediation with, while also continuing to explore the same curriculum that the mainstream classes do.
All right. That's fantastic. And you'll notice the rooms are just a bit smaller. I think we have 8 students in your classroom.
8 and 9. this year.
8 and yep. And that's for 5th grade transition. So, but lots of great stuff. This is one of my favorite rooms to come to because I get to put puzzles together with the students. So that's a lot of fun.
We have a new one over there waiting for someone to get started.
Well, I might have to spend a few minutes down here.
So if you would like to stop back by, that would be awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Miss Silver.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Silver. We appreciate that. And in many of the transition classes, that you will find that they are having puzzles laid out on tables. It's a great way for them to either start their classroom or just kind of settle in a little bit. And so I have noticed that in many of the transition classes, there are lots of puzzles. So that's fun too for the kids.
This is the first floor hallway. And again, you have several classrooms down here along with the art studio. And we're going to show you examples of some of the beautiful artwork that is done by our students in Miss Armstrong's class that you just met.
So the Sea Life project has been done by 6th grade students. And those 6th grade students started out with a styrofoam bowl, if you can imagine that, turned it over, and she scaled down a high school project to get it to this level, but it's still absolutely beautiful. This is actually Mrs. Armstrong's example, and then these are the pieces done by students. 5th graders worked on sgraffito. So these are the green and gray, I call them pencil holders that you see here. And then 4th grade students at the very, very top there did masks, and they used terracotta clay for those masks. And so as you can see, some really beautiful art pieces that come out of our art studios. And just fun. Kids love to play in clay, as if you will. Ms. Armstrong does say that kids really like to work with the clay. And so that's something that she makes sure that every grade level, during every rotation, there is at least one clay project. So your kids won't hurt for any clay projects. And it is quite time and labor extensive. So you have the firing, the drying of the clay, the glazing, and it's very much a step-by-step process. So in that art class and through those processes, she's teaching patience. She's teaching resilience because it's a work in progress, and it makes them value their work that much more when it's complete.
So we do have a question, if we can back up to the Transition Learning Support Program. How many transition classes are there, and how many students are in those classes?
In the 4th grade, we have two classrooms. There are 9 students in each of those. In the 5th grade, we have 3. There are 8 students in one of those classes and 9 in 2 of them. And then in the 6th grade, we have 4 transition classrooms that have 11 students each in those.
Thank you. We also have a question about transportation, which is quite a comprehensive topic.
Sure.
I butt into the tour, but I'm happy to answer that question because I know it might be on parents' minds, and I'm going to share my video for a second so I can look at you all. But yes, one of the big things we say is, because Woodward draws from 23 metro Atlanta counties and 100 zip codes, no matter where you live, we have a great way of getting you here. So we have over 400 students who do take our buses every day. Our buses are not like the buses that I had when I was growing up. These buses have 3-point harness belts. They have Wi-Fi. They have heating and air conditioning. They have USB ports. They have reading lights. So students actually love it because they get to make choices. They get to choose whether to use their bus time to do their homework, to socialize with friends, to listen to music, to sleep. And we also have a program where if you have a smartphone app, you can see real time when your student gets on the bus, they swipe their badge. When they get off, they swipe their badge. So you can always see when your child has gotten on the bus or off the bus. And there is also a GPS tracker, so you can see when a bus is approaching your stop. So if you're running errands, you can go, oh, the bus is 5 minutes away, I better wrap up and get over there. Or no, I've got 15 minutes, so I've got a little bit more time. Another popular option for our students is MARTA. It's particularly popular when you get to 6th grade and above, and of course, if you live near a MARTA station. We pre-pandemic had anywhere from 350 to 400 students take MARTA every single day. The ridership did decline a little bit during the pandemic, but it's starting to go back up again. We have 2 cars on MARTA that are for Woodward students specifically. We have MARTA officers that are dedicated to those cars. And then on the high volume shifts, we also have Woodward personnel that we put onto the MARTA cars with those students. And then another popular option is carpooling. So we have a carpool to school app, which will put you in touch with other families who are in close geographic proximity to you so that you can arrange your own carpools based on your times and the ages of your children. So I hope that answers the transportation question. But again, I didn't mean to hijack your tour, but I know it was on parents' minds, so I wanted to answer that.
Thank you so much, Nisha. That's so important. Kids, parents really want to know, how do I get my kids to Woodward? And there's some great options available. So thank you so much for sharing. Now, before we go into our gym, I want to share with you guys our intramural schedule. As we met Ms. Armstrong earlier, she, talked about what she's doing with her with the lacrosse team, but there's flag football, cheerleading, cross country, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, softball, wrestling, swimming, basketball, volleyball, and track. Yes, and all kids, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade students can all participate in the intramurals. The good thing about 6th graders is that for most schools, 6th grade is middle school. So here at the lower school, they do allow for students who are interested in trying out for the middle school team, they can do that as well. So that's an option. All right, so we'll go into the gymateria. Our gymateria doubles as a cafeteria and a gym space, as well as after school care. So we have our hot lines here. Kids come and get their lunches here. There are some cold lines set up in the middle where kids can choose a cheese sandwich or turkey sandwich or salad or whatever it is that what they would like to have for lunch that day. Or maybe they just want to have both. If your kids are like my kids, they want to eat as much as possible. So you're welcome to have the hot lunch and the cold lunch as well, and maybe even come back for seconds or two if you would like. So this is now set up for the after school care program. Once the after school care program is over, our staff will come in, break the tables down, roll them back into our storage space. It goes back to being a gym space. So they'll have PE again in the morning, and then when they get ready for lunch, those tables come back out again. So there's a lot of work that goes into making this space a multi-purpose space. So what you see here is our after school care program in their study hall mode. So I guess I'm interrupting, and so we'll step out.
As I said, in after school care, they do have a period of time where they have study hall, and then you got to experience that right there. So it's about 20 to 25 minutes, and a lot of the students get their homework done at that time. So.
Magic. We're going to talk a little bit about science. Just a few minutes.
We're going to go up the 6th grade stairwell. As I said earlier, we do have designated stairwells, and the center stairwell is designated for 6th grade. Now, the 3rd floor of our building, Miss Abdullah, is designated only for our 6th grade students.
Yes. Now, there are the Spanish classes and our art studio, and there's one 5th grade class up there, technology space that's used as a multi-purpose space. But for the most part, the 6th graders get the run of the roost up there on the 3rd floor. As I said, this is just a peek. So you want to go ahead and go to info.woodward.edu/visit. Sure that you sign up for a tour.
All right. So hopefully Miss Magic is around.
I did see her, and she may have stepped away, and she should be back shortly, hopefully. Our science program, once again, is robust. It's hands-on. I've been out at the playground, and they're doing, a speed test. So they're trying things out, and they're doing some things where they are actually putting that science into practice in real life. So Ms. Magic will be able to share a little bit more about what they're doing in those science classrooms. And once again, connecting with Dr. B and doing some of the things in our makerspace certainly makes those science experiences a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find her.
Yeah, as we find Miss Magic Kadunmi, and the students call her Miss Magic, want to let you know that we also do some the charitable giving projects, and the one that starts on Monday is our food drive, and we are in conjunction with the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and we collect either cans or money from the students. And every year we are one of the top 3 corporations in the state of Georgia. Our students and parents are extremely generous in making this happen. So we are very excited to get that started, but we do many charitable types of projects. We do recycling here. We also have used markers. It's Crayola Color Cycle, where they recycle markers. And we also are part of the Ronald McDonald House. We collect tabs for them. So we do so many things. Our students' service part of service learning here at the lower school is extremely important. And now we have Miss Magic. Hi, Miss Magic.
Hello, hi everybody. My name is Lindsay. I teach 6th grade science and math here at the lower school at Woodward. I'm standing by our hydroponic garden here where we grow some herbs that are then used at home. People are allowed to take them home. So we do all sorts of different things here. We're very big into doing some STEM/STEAM learning. And we integrate that into our science units throughout the year in different 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade. Specifically in 6th grade, we focus on earth science. So we connect with the middle school. 7th grade is life science, and then 8th grade is physical and chemical science. So the kids are starting off getting some middle school curriculum, and they enjoy it. We do a lot of labs. Our science classrooms are definitely fitted for labs. We have lots of sinks and tile floors in there, so it's a lot of fun, and we try to keep them as active and thinking outside the box as possible. So a little bit about science.
Thanks, Ms. Magic. I know that our 4th and 5th grade science classes are survey courses, so they include all 3 strands,
Yes.
Typical strands of science, but in 6th grade you concentrate.
Specifically on earth science.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Any questions for Miss Magic and our science program? It's very robust, by the way, and the students are well versed once they get to middle school and then high school, where they have some options of classes to take. They do very well. So it's a great science program. So thanks, Ms. Magic. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now we're back at the beginning, but you can't fully experience it unless you actually come on a tour. So we're at our 5 o'clock mark. If anyone has any questions, we'll be glad to answer them for you. And please don't forget, if you haven't already, please go to info.woodward.edu/visit so that you can sign up for your tour and you get a chance to get your own special sneak peek here at the lower school.
All right, thanks. Any questions that you have for us? We'll be glad to answer at this time.
We'll give it just a second to see if any questions come in the chat. And I am putting the link to sign up for a tour. Okay, let's see here. We've got one that says, my son, Chasen, wants Miss Alita to save some basil for him.
There's plenty of basil for everyone. So when you come, we'll make sure that we have some for you.
It grows year round.
And it is delicious.
Okay, I see a lot of thank yous. But I will repeat, please come visit us. The magic is even more evident when you are here in person, and we look forward to welcoming you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.